Toyota resurrects the Trail nameplate for the 2021 4Runner. Is this the new one to get? We have a full review right now on Driving Sports TV. As the 5th generation 4Runner heads into its 12th year of production, Toyota is keeping the rugged body-on-frame SUV fresh with updated features and a new limited edition trim that brings back the Trail name. For those not versed in the history of 4Runners, the TRD Off-Road was introduced in 2017. Prior to that, the same trim package was sold as the Trail Edition. With the name change, Toyota put the Trail badge out to pasture. Until now. This new limited edition run of 4,000 units slots into the low end of the lineup when equipped with just two-wheel drive. Add part-time four-wheel drive, and it's within spitting distance of the TRD Off-Road in terms of price. But let's just cut to the chase here. This Trail Edition doesn't include any of the off-road features you get in the current TRD Off-Road. No multi-terrain select, no crawl control, no rear locker. Instead, you get Toyota's basic A-Track terrain system. And unique to the Trail, you also get a Yakima cargo basket, a 40-quart matching cooler, all-weather mats, which were not installed in our test car, and dark gray wheels. Like the rest of the 4Runner lineup, for 2021, it also notably gets LED headlights, at last. The model we're testing here is the Trail Edition with some extras. Prices you see it here, $43,871 US, including destination and delivery. Under the hood is Toyota's workhorse 4-liter V6. This is the same motor as every other 4Runner currently sold. Power output is 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque. Our test car came with the part-time four-wheel drive system with a dual-range gearbox and standard 5-speed automatic transmission. EPA rates the 4Runner at a painful 16 miles to the gallon in town and 19 on the highway. All 4Runners come with a tow package which can pull up to 5,000 pounds. In the back, this one comes with a slide-out deck and a cooler. Behind the second row is 46.3 cubic feet, not including the cooler, or with all seats down, you get up to 88.8 cubic feet. Seats do fold flat, but it takes a little folding to get it done. It's a 60-40 split. You also get convenient trunk-mounted AC and DC sockets. The cargo area on this 4Runner does extend beyond just the trunk. On top, it's a Yakima basket. Ready for action. Climb on up, and I got lots of headroom, lots of leg room. This is really a great place to hang out. I also have 2 USB sockets, my own vents. I mean, that's all you really need, right? Oh, look. We also get a armrest with cup holders. If you've been in a Toyota Tacoma or 4Runner in the past decade, the front seats will be very familiar. Seating position's pretty good. These seats are okay. They're not great. Not sure if I'd want to do an interstate trip with a seat like this. For over 40 grand, there are a few things that are missing in this vehicle that I feel like should just be here. Number one, push button start with proximity sensor. I don't know why we still have a traditional key. Seat warmers? Come on, at 40 grand, give me seat warmers. We still have a very work-centric interior with large knobs that work well if you're wearing mittens. Big dials have a place, and the place is in the 4Runner. This is perfect. This has the trademark 4Runner function, which is a slide-down rear window, which is really cool. Other than that, I mean, we do get adaptive cruise control, we have lane detection, we don't have lane centering, but for a vehicle like this, that's really not too surprising. Actually, you know what? We don't even have blind spot monitoring. Again, 40 grand, kind of expect to have a few of these things. The first thing that I noticed when I got into this vehicle was that it doesn't have the traditional high-low lever that we get in the TRD models, like the Off-Road or the Pro. This one instead has a big dial where we can switch from high to, because this is a part-time four-wheel drive system. Most of the time it's rear-wheel drive. If I switch to H4, I just hit this little unlock. I can hear it switching the transfer case. And now we're in 4 high. if I want to put it into low, I have to switch into neutral first, and then I can go over to 4 low. It's really easy. Some buyers who are more casual off-roaders will prefer this, absolutely. It still does not have a automatic 4-wheel drive though. Some of the other vehicles like the Chevy Silverado trucks, for example, have a full-time all-wheel drive setting, so you can just drive the car normally and still have 4-wheel grip. This one, not so much. There is one version of the 4Runner you can get with an auto 4-wheel drive system. That is the Limited. I would have liked to see this feature trickle down to the rest of the lineup for 2021. Oh well, maybe next year. Now, for those who don't know the difference, this is mostly a rear-wheel drive vehicle. However, when you go into H4, it locks that center differential so that half the power is going to the front, half of it's going to the back. Now, it's kind of funny, the name of this. This is called a Trail Edition, yet they've deleted the primary trail features. In the TRD Off-Road and the TRD Pro, you get 2 special controls. The first one is the multi-terrain select system. Here, they've replaced it with the more basic A-Track. MTS allows you to adjust that wheel braking depending on conditions. This one, it's a one-size-fits-all solution. The second thing that they've deleted is crawl control. Now, crawl control allows you to navigate really challenging conditions in kind of a cruise control manner at very, very low speeds. It works both uphill and downhill. Well, this one, all they've given us is a hill descent control system, essentially, which does individual wheel braking on a slope. So, yeah, I'm a little confused as to why this is the trail model when they've deleted the things that I consider trail necessary. I guess the trails they're thinking of are gravel driveways? I don't know. The nav system here is improved actually over earlier models. This one does come with navigation and Apple CarPlay. Honestly, I would probably use this in CarPlay mode 99% of the time. In CarPlay, it looks great here. This display doubles as a backup camera when I go into reverse. Over here we have, your traditional gauge cluster. We have TAC on the left, speedo on the right, multifunction color display in the middle. It's the traditional Toyota setup up until recently, where some of the higher end models have moved to like all digital displays, but that's appropriate for a vehicle like this. This is a very analog vehicle. I mean, come on, big V6, classic 4-low. This thing is a tank built for the end of the world. But today we're just heading up into the mountains, gonna have an adventure. Hopefully we can make it as far as we have planned. If not, we'll see what we can do along the way. On to the freeway. Punch it. Have to admit, I like the sound of that 4-liter V6. It is just a very unique sound, and it just fits this vehicle so well. Now, the first thing that you have to consider when you look at a vehicle like the 4Runner is economy. Yeah, I've been on the freeway and I'm getting close to 17 miles to the gallon. It's not great, but it is shaped like a brick, and it has a V6 with 270 horsepower. So, there are trade-offs. Now, we don't have auto steering, and so of course we don't have lane centering either. What we do get is lane detection. When lane detection is on, and what do we get? We get the beep. So if you drive a lot and you go over things a lot, you're gonna get lots of beeps, especially if you're going through a twisty area. So it's really easy to turn it off with the button right down here. Now that we've covered all the basics, let's head into the mountains and test out some of the other features in this vehicle. The weather right now is about 41 degrees, and it just dumped snow here in the mountains yesterday. It got cold and now it's gotten warmer again, so a lot of that snow is melting off. Driving the 4Runner, to nobody's surprise, it's a bit of a roly-poly adventure. This is a body-on-frame SUV, and that means that you're sitting very high. The suspension is softly sprung, again, because it's for off-road. As much as I really appreciate those technological marvels that are the Mercedes-Benz G-Class, I like the simplicity of this vehicle. It makes sense. Unlike vehicles like the Land Rover Defender
I know when the time comes to actually do work with this vehicle off-road, all I have to do is pull a switch, flip a lever, and we're good to go. With the Land Cruiser, it's a lot of fiddling about with little buttons and stuff. I don't want to do that. I got stuff to do. Looking at the road conditions up here, it is a little more snow than I was expecting. I was honestly expecting most of this to have washed away from the warm rain, but no, we got the tricky, super soppy, really difficult to traverse wet stuff. Yeah, this is going to be miserable. Let's try a 0 to 60. I'm going to just stop the vehicle. There's no real settings to go with here. I could shift my own, but I don't see any reason to. 3, 2, 1, and go. Everything flies back. 30, 40, 50. I'm starting to hit patches of ice, and 60. 8.04 seconds. And given the weather conditions, that's all we're gonna try. Okay, let's head into the smushy snow. Oof. And see how this does. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is interesting. You can hear that traction control system working overtime. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch this into 4 high because two-wheel drive ain't cutting it. We switched? We're switched. Okay, let's go. Now, to switch into 4 high, you do not need to switch into neutral. However, if you are switching into 4 low, you will have to switch into neutral. Okay, we still have some elevation to make up, so I'm guessing that the rock climb is going to be really tricky today. And we're going to try it in all seasons with no chains, just to see, hey, how does it do? I mean, I do it to crossovers, might as well do it with this one. I do have chains in the trunk, just in case we need them, but I'm kind of hoping we can get by with just a whole lot of squirreling around instead. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Ooh, ah. This is super slippery. Nothing quite like a foot of snow that's been compacted by water and ice. Yeah, this weather is getting now to the point where I don't know if I'm going to be taking crossovers even up here. We have to wait for some of this ice to go away and snow. It's getting too deep and rough. Already I'm seeing some down branches and stuff. I hope this isn't a mistake. See the tree right there? Hopefully we don't see anything bigger. Who knows though? That's some heavy snow on these trees right now. I'm staying to the ruts. Some cases you don't want to be in the ruts because there's more ice there, but in this case, that's actually where we have some ground churned up, so there actually is a little bit of grit there to aid in my ascent. And we don't have any issues with snow clearance. There's not so much snow as to be scraping my underside yet. Okay, making elevation, and things are starting to get thicker. Okay, so we're virgin snow right now. Nobody's been up today since the big fall yesterday. And keeping in mind I do not have snow tires, and I am crabbing. Let's turn on a track and see if that improves things at all. Up we go. Not getting it. Let's get aligned a little bit better. Running start. Crabbing sideways. I got this. I think. Okay, let's go. And away we go. Now I'm still in 4 high. I'm sliding sideways because it is so icy. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to 4 low. Put it into neutral. Okay, we're in 4 low now. Okay, take 2. Or is this take 3? Crabbing up, crabbing up, crabbing up, crabbing up, crabbing up. We got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. No problem. Ah. Okay, that's a lot of ice under here, and I am not comfortable with the cliff on the outside there. So we're gonna go ahead and rewind this and put some chains on.
Heading back down the mountain to a location with a little bit more shelter and less snow, I installed the chains on the rear wheels, which is the officially recommended location by the Toyota documentation.
Okay, we got chains on. I am soaked. Let's do this.
My plan today is to take the 4Runner on a new challenge course that is designed just for hardcore off-roaders. With all our other locations buried under several feet of snow from a storm that just passed through, our options for off-roading are limited this time of year.
Right now I have it just in 4 low. I have not turned on my A-track yet. It's always important to drive very slow when you have chains. They're not meant for high speeds at all. So as soon as like the snow clears or speeds increase, which in theory is after the snow clears, you definitely want to take those off. Okay, now this is where the snow gets really thick and where I got stuck last time. Let's try it again. Okay. Now with chains. Oop, that's icy. Can still feel that. Still have to stay away from that cliff. This is the tough stuff. This is what separates the 4Runners from the Subarus of the world. No problem so far, but we are getting into deeper stuff very quickly. So I imagine our fortunes may change just based on physics. We'll see. Okay, already there's a tree in the way. That's a full tree and it's still connected to the ground. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to clear this, but I can try. Actually, that's 2 trees. Wow. Let's check this out.
Without a saw or hatchet, I tried to see if I can merely yank the tree out of the way with a heavy-duty tow strap.
I don't know if this is gonna work. The problem is it's connected by the root ball on the left and it's kind of pinned between a couple small trees over there. Hopefully this doesn't cause more problems. Okay, I don't want it to like spring, so I'm gonna like try to see if I can ease it.
As much as I tried, I just couldn't get the tree removed safely. Today, the mountains have beaten me.
I'm not gonna necessarily be able to pull this out. It's too jammed on both sides. Huh, well, that's a disappointing way to end this episode. Nature, man, what are you gonna do?
Let's consider this trail edition. It is basically an accessorized SR5 made in limited quantities to punch up demand. Does this package speak to you? If so, that's great. Even with just A-track and 4-wheel drive, the 4Runner is still highly capable. As for me, I'd absolutely spend a few extra shekels for the more focused TRD Off-Road Edition. It may not be limited edition, but if you're going to go with a machine that is already a compromise in daily drivability due to its body-on-frame off-road readiness, you might as well go all the way. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe as we have an upcoming snow adventure with this very same 4Runner Trail Edition, as well as the Jeep Gladiator Diesel, which you won't want to miss. Also, hit that like button and share this with your friends.